Hello, welcome back. We just hit the request and have found our seventh youth match. We have 5 clean sheets in a row now. For this youth league, we have 6 out of 6 wins, and we have only conceded 1 goal in total. Very convincing on the whole. I mean, we've had some closer matches. I think the last video in particular, if you watch that one, it was two matches where we did have to make some tactical changes to get the wins. But that's what it's all about. Sometimes you are going to have to earn it, pretty much. No matter, even if you're better than the other teams, you need to be on the ball with the with the tactics. So we managed to pull that off, so that was good. Let's see if these matches will be just as challenging or not. It is very interesting. We get that attacking width down the left still with this tactic. Point that out quite a bit. We don't get a lot of corners, which isn't surprising really, because whilst we get that little bit of attacking width, like we're saying, we don't get a lot of it. We are mostly through the middle. So it's not surprising we don't get too many corners. We've got a decent chance flow. I would say I'm definitely not thinking to change anything. I think on the whole, looking alright, but yeah, they're not being that high quality chances, but I think I'm sort of seeing potential that they wouldn't be that much different, that they would be higher quality chances, so to speak. So that's dangerous by them. We need to bear that in mind. They didn't have a shot or whatever, but it is something we need to be concerned about that. Their chance was definitely a byproduct of playing the wing backs and trying to pin them back, and it just not having worked out to plan. So they were very pinned back at the beginning of this half, but then they've since managed to get some forwards a bit since then. So I'd say it's a reason to be considering switching off the wing backs. Another thing that we can obviously do with this as well is to it's not always an all or nothing thing. I think this is a type of one where it's it's a good chance, another good chance, where obviously one of them could be left as a fullback and one of them could be a wing back. I think in particular, if I was to do it for this one, it would be it's the right side that I feel uncomfortable basically when they're coming through here. The left side hasn't been bothering me too much, so we might do that. We'll change it so that the right one is a fullback, but the left one stays as a wingback. So I kind of feel like we had done enough to score most games. So I'm not too worried. Like, I feel like we will get there in the end. We will score, but I am a bit concerned. I'm just going to change that, like I said. I am a bit concerned that, you know, we're not going to score a whole pile of goals at the moment. Like, we might just, yeah. It's a possibility, obviously, that we won't at this juncture, so we need to bear that in mind. We do need to be thinking in terms of trying to make sure that, that we don't concede, basically, so that if, you know, we only need to get one goal to win. So that's why that change is there. It's basically just a change to try to not concede. Okay, this is dangerous. Something could happen, but okay. So there's a tackle. We do get the corner, though. Alright, well, luckily our strikers have got a bit of condition. Our DCs are going to be lacking a bit. We need to bear that in mind. I think from the perspective that we should have a pretty reasonable continued goal scoring threat all the way pretty close to the end of the game here. Whereas normally our faster guy is a bit more tired than this at this point, so we couldn't rely on him as heavily, but this game we can continue to rely on him being dangerous all the way through. Or nearly all the way through. Which means we can be a little bit more conservative defensively and a little bit less aggressive taking risks to score the goal, because we will just get that little bit of extra time to end up being able to score it. It's just fine margins, though. It's not a huge factor here. It's just a smallish one. Probably means potential risk-taking tactical changes we make, we will take them a few minutes later than we otherwise might have. Now, obviously, since then he's lost 4% condition, so another one. So yeah, all of a sudden it's not looking that great. Another decent chance. We've got a decent chance flow. They're not great. This is the thing. Now we have got a guy with good long shots. There is a chance we score from this. It's in a good spot. A lot of players in the way. But yeah, okay, cool. I called it. We score. And all of a sudden, everything is looking a lot more comfortable. I do quite like my change, though, to be honest, with just doing the one wing back and one full back. I do feel like it has really stabilised us defensively, but still left, still had a decent combination that it's stabilised us on the right, but also we're still pinning them back really well with the one wing back. We're doing a reasonable job of it, and also it hasn't really disrupted our attacking flow. We've still maintained that constant flow of chances that weren't high quality, but enough volume that we probably in the end we're just going to score for something like we did. Now we're just in the position where we do have to consider that no matter what, obviously one goal is relatively fragile. If he parries that, their striker was right there. So we will have also need to just be mindful of the fact that a one goal lead is always a fragile lead, no matter what. But I think our defense is pretty well set up, and again we've got a decent chance flow. I still feel like there's a reasonable chance that we will score another goal, and I also feel like there's a reasonable chance they won't have a shot or a solid chance. They won't have another chance as good as the one that they just had. I feel like that's probable. So I still feel like ultimately the least risky thing to do here is to not change stuff up. We do have a sub coming up soon with this guy. I'll just hit the pause now because just to catch it in time. The reason why we didn't pause for us there is just because we are far from the server, so we've got some delay on the streaming. So we just need to bear that in mind. Oh, decent chance. It'll catch it now, but yeah, we're X seconds behind. X could be 3 or whatever. So we would have just missed that other one, but we've caught this one. I think now we will change this guy for... We'll do that one sub, but honestly, the other ones are risky because these, you know, the strikers are great and the central defenders are great. The subs are downgrade. The substitutes are downgrades, basically. So I feel like we're just going to leave it. I feel like the one other thing we could do is potentially set the other wingback to be fullback. But yeah, they just haven't really been dangerous down that side at all yet. But yeah, that obviously can all change in one attack. Yeah, to be honest, I'm going to change it because I don't really like that conceptually. Like, I'd rather just be sitting back and waiting for them to come on. But yeah, hopefully, hopefully we get the goal there and just seal up the result. But I've hit the pause to catch the change to make that one other change. They're coming up this side again. I just feel like stuff's going on there that I would rather not have going on. If we didn't have the wing back coming up and we just said, hey, have the space, and we'll just defend the space. But anyway, so we win. I think there's another one. It's just like, do we win anyway if we don't make that tactical change? Maybe. Sure. But I do feel like we increased our chances of winning. And that's what it's all about. The last 3 games really is just, it's been in the balance and we've just increased our chances each time. You know, I think at the end of the day, I think to be reasonable about this, I think you could say we could have not made the changes we made, and you know, maybe we win 2 of them anyway, but maybe not 3, right, on average. So we're sort of saying like those changes in these last 3 matches get us 3 out of 3 wins instead of otherwise maybe we we only would have won 2 of them anyway, possibly, maybe even 1, to be honest. They have felt like pretty important changes to make, and they have felt like. I think particularly in the other 2 in the last video, like that, you know, that they did actually change the flow of the match quite a bit. So we're on to the last one. 3 back-to-back 1-0 victories. It is not often that you would see that. And 1 match away from being 8 for 8 victories. And we're hoping to get our backup keeper some appearances to get some training points, but that didn't really happen at all with all these close 1-0 matches. He's drifting left again. We just get that attacking width on the left. Decent chance in the end. Created from that attacking width. It's an interesting one though, because at the end of the day, like, you know, is it better if he just goes through the middle like that more often and doesn't drift? Don't know. But I do feel like we are getting goals and we are getting stuff created out of. It does manufacture goals, him drifting left, but yeah, I don't know. Obviously, he's still scoring when he goes through the middle, so himself directly. So missed that one, mind you. But yeah, I feel like it's a close one. But yeah, I don't know. There's more considerations than that. The fact that, you know, you've got the outlet, there's more chance that your players will make that pass, less chance they're going to give up possession, blah blah blah, less chance you're ultimately going to concede goals. There's a lot of it is not that simple, basically. But I guess it has been good though, like, to just get another, you know, it is a completely different style of football to our senior team, and it is another tactic that doesn't use wingers as well. It doesn't even use any wide attacking players at all. So it is just another, you know, another tactic that can work with the right players, the right setup, whatever. I do think in particular that, like, at a higher level, this will definitely be hard to get working, because there's just a heavy reliance with this tactic that our strikers are better than their central defenders, and that our central defenders are better than their strikers. Like, there's a massive reliance on that being true for every match. And I'm not talking about a little bit or on the whole or whatever. I'm talking about each of our strikers is materially better than each of their centre halves. Not that combined they're a bit better or whatever. Like, I'm talking about my worst striker is way better than their best centre half, and my worst centre half is way better than their, like, best attacking player, strike or whatever. Like, there's a heavy reliance on that being true. For this to sort of, like, work, it plays heavily into that being true, and it's, like, engineered around that basis to maximise the strengths of the playing staff, which are the two strikers and two centre halves. So, and also to some degree, it, like, mitigates against, like, it, you know, the weakness is basically the 4 midfield players, comparatively, and to some degree the 2 wing backs. So the weakness, I suppose, to some degree is everybody else. So it does, you know, the fact that you're leaning heavily into them, and then those 4 players being significantly involved in the play always. It does naturally reduce how much everybody else is going to be involved, which is also sort of minimising our weakness. I think the one midfielder that we're happy to be involved is the MLC, but he is quite a bit. It's quite interesting, just with that offset on the making him the attacking midfielder in the MLC role. Gets him quite heavily involved in the attacks, so this is a bit of a dangerous situation, just because there's a bit of chaos will ensue if they have a shot, so... Another one that I've been blubbering a bit too much and not paying enough attention to what's going on, so another one that I kind of completely deserve to not win, but hopefully we will win and get there anyway. I have felt like we created a few chances, but not a lot when that's true. And again, just we've been super defensively solid. I think part of the thing is, though, like, to some degree, like, once we're winning, because we got the goal relatively early, like, the main thing that I'm just looking for is to just making sure that we're not looking like we're going to concede. Kind of sounds obvious, but, you know, it's not what I'm paying attention to focus-wise. So I kind of feel like, and then on top of that, like, you know, the chance flow is a bit there, not as strong as it has been in other games. So I just pay a bit more attention to stuff generally, but like, I have been paying some attention. I've not seen anything too concerning. They had that one play, but that where like everybody was packed in the box, but that was just off the back of a foul on a set piece. I don't think that we should read too much into that specific situation. And I also, yeah. So again, I think it's that type of thing where like I think it's that again we're winning 1-0, and I do feel like there's just way more chance of us scoring than them scoring. And I feel like it's very unlikely they're going to score more than one goal. And it's quite likely we're going to score at least one more. So I think when you put all of those factors together, and that there's still loads of time left for us to be able to make subs, make tactical changes, adjust if it doesn't really necessarily pan out how I'm imagining at the moment. But right now, it's just like, because I feel like that's more likely to happen than them scoring, basically, that it's better to just let it unfold and see if you're right. Because it's more risky to just change stuff, basically, than to not change it. Yeah, so this won't be another grindy 1-0 win, it seems. I feel like this is in the bag already. Yeah. I mean, I guess it's a good sign, though, on the whole, like, the tactic, because it's like, at the end of the day, like, you know, it is good that we could make these tactical changes in those matches before this one to change things around a bit to get the win, but it is also nice that sometimes your tactic kind of does just work as intended out of the box, so to speak, without needing to make changes to it. You know, it already did work a few other games in a row earlier, so it's just good that it's gone back to that. I was kind of thinking maybe it's just from the back of the last few matches that wasn't quite as strong as I thought it was, but yeah, now it's sort of, maybe it is as strong as I thought it was. Thing is, it's been pretty damn strong. Like even these matches where we had to make changes to win, like you still like, you know, did really well on the whole, like quite dominant, really. I think that, yeah, would have been, yeah, shows a lot of promise, but yeah, again, like, there's just no future in this beyond the training league, because we're going to lose the players. They'll turn 22 that make this tactic possible. And again, the 3 tied players, 2 of them are DCs, 1 of them a striker, but like these are the players that are way better than, even if they get below 70% condition, they're still going to be better than whoever we can sub on. And the fact, you know, that they can't get injured from the youth matches, it kind of just makes it very easy for us. Like, you're just always leaving these players on, except maybe this guy if he falls like low enough. Here's the one exception. Oh, another great long shot. So yeah, so this is off the back of a mistake here. I feel like this could be a goal, but no, we deal with it a bit. It's back in, close. Alright, so they have the shot. We don't get through the whole match without them having a shot, fortunately. Oh, good chance. Straight through. Ah, that's a shame. What a shame. Oh. Defender just deals with it again. It's time for the subs, because they're just not going to score 2. Ah, it's a shame that didn't go out. We may not get to make our subs, but It's definitely some free training points if we can get them. Go out. Cool, we get the free training points. So I think we do want to sub the keeper. We're not going to get... And the... who else did we want? I think Soric could be about, so let's get him in. And this Makalas in particular, let's just get him in. So... alright, cool. Alright, 3 training points. Cool. Okay, yeah, so very straightforward win, that one. Just we're always doing enough and to win, and they were never doing enough for us to be too concerned. So, alright, awesome. So we did get 8 for 8. That was what we wanted to do. The other thing we were saying about just, I think ideally we were hoping we would do it a bit more convincingly, maybe, but that might have just been a little bit of some overconfidence there. Because we did do it pretty convincingly. So I think, so yeah, we did win 8 for 8, and it was very convincing. But I think we were hoping for a little more convincing. But yeah, okay, awesome. Well, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you for the next videos when we tick over. Yeah, cheers. See ya.